You guys that are getting your drinks or hors d'oeuvres, go ahead and keep getting them. But let's kind of tone down so we can start. Okay. Thank you, everybody. On behalf of the Reunion Committee, welcome, Class of '63. Thank you for attending. Your presence is what makes for a memorable weekend. For those who forgot who I am, that's okay, since I was a transplant from Farragut High School and came to Morton West during my last half of the junior year. We worked on this committee, and it was a lot of hard work, so I'd like to give recognition to the people on the committee. First of all, there's Carol Check. If Carol Check would stand up, please. And if we can hold the applause until everybody has been introduced, we'd appreciate it. Carol, with her emails and mailings and her auction preparation, was a vital asset to our committee. Another committee member was Bob Tate. Bob Tate. Where's Bob Tate? There he is, waving his hands over there. Without Bob Tate's input, we would not have found as many classmates as we did. As a matter of fact, we reduced our lost sheet list to just 44 people. Thanks a lot, Bob. Betty Hamlin allowed the committee to use her floral shop, provided treats and banking activity. And Betty is right here. She's our sweetheart. Marge Bly. Her management skills kept track of registrations and processing of checks, and a number of other activities. Maurice Iconic. She was instrumental in setting up the last night's raffle and researching names for your invitations. Barb Frontera. Her ideas were instrumental in putting together this wonderful weekend and researching names along with everybody else. Joanne Magus and Shirley Kostelny were very instrumental in putting together the memorial poster. Also, a lot of the memorabilia was presented by Shirley, and also John brought up the auction stuff. And who else? I might be missing some people, but let's give the committee a nice round of applause. Okay, moving forward, the invocation tonight will be given by our class president, Frank Blaha. Our master of ceremonies is going to be Jim Finnerty. We're looking forward to both of these gentlemen and their comments. There will be a panorama photo of this year's class reunion after dinner. That will be somewhere around 8:45. I've been asked that several people wanted to take class photos of their elementary group. The photographer will take those elementary school group photographs. Provided, just let us know when who wants to be in the photograph. There will be a class song sung by everybody, but it would be nice if we can have a welcome song sung by members of the Aeolian Choir, Girls Choir, Nota Bells, and Madrigal Singers. If they are here, please lead us in the song. You guys can come up front here and start off, okay? As far as the reunion book goes, I know there's been some mistakes and some errors, and there's been some corrections, but there's going to be this great book we'll put on the reception table. So as you look through the book and you see any errors or know somebody that we missed, please enter the names or for corrections, okay? And with that, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Frank Blaha, and we'll move on from there. Thank you for your attention and welcome.
Good evening, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here this evening. Actually, I thought Jim Finnerty was going to do most of the talking, but somehow I got miscommunicated, or I misheard things. So now I've got more to say than I planned to say. In any event, I thought I was only giving the invitation. I have a few words before the invitation, which I think are pretty meaningful to a 50-year reunion. If you look up invocation in the dictionary, you get several definitions. But the primary definition of an invocation is asking God or a deity for support, direction, or a blessing or guidance for the future. I would like to start with a bit of reflection on our blessings from the past. Those blessings that we all have, private, personal, public, in general. Many of us have known each other for 55 years, almost 55 years, and some have known each other longer. Those of us who went to grade school together. That's a long time. I was looking into my talent this weekend, or last week before we came. I probably haven't picked the book up and looked at it for 50-ish years. The messages from many friends and classmates were so warm and meaningful, and in many cases spoke to things that I had totally forgotten, consciously forgotten, but in many cases powerfully impacted my life subsequent to Morton High School. Oh, those wonderful high school years. Those were such formative years for us. And many of the most important and meaningful relationships were formed and flourished during those years. An insightful recent survey of Americans asked people to list, in order of priority, the most important dimensions of their lives. Those dimensions included such things as education, career, health, wealth, social status, relationships, social and environmental responsibility, faith, contribution to society, family, friends, and several others. And do you know which one was by far the #1 choice? Anybody want to guess?
No.
Okay. Responsibility, relationships, relationships was chosen the most important by 65% of the Americans surveyed. Money and wealth was the lowest, the absolute lowest on the list. So as we enjoy this evening together, take a moment to reflect on the blessing from those relationships, which began so many years ago. The impact that they had on us as we began our journeys through life. The lessons we learned, sometimes hard, sometimes the hard way, that made us who and what we are today. And all the additional blessings that subsequently came into our lives. Some just showed up. Some showed up and were not immediately appreciated or recognized. Some we had to work really hard to accomplish or achieve, but they all contributed to our individual spirit and being today. Let's recognize those blessings and appreciate each other for the contributions, blessings that we each gave each other those many years ago. I love our memories. I love my memories of Morton West and this opportunity to share the evening with you. Thank you very much. Now I would like my wife to join me, my wife Marianne, the love of my life, to give a more formal invocation.
Good evening. What an honor and privilege to be here. Thank you to all of you guys. Earlier, my dear husband did mention relationship, and one of the ladies was says family. You are so right. Family is number one, very important in our life. But besides family, I have 3 things I want to share with you guys. What 3? I bet you guys know. I remind myself every single day. Number 1, friend. Number 2, dreams. Number 3, most important, is memories. After today, I hope each one of you have wonderful memories right in your book, in your lifetime. Thank you. And my turn to say a prayer. Everybody, bow your hands. Dear God in heaven, thank you so very much. Thank you for providing all our needs. Tonight is perfect example. You're loving and kind. Help us to have a wonderful time together, celebrate 50th high school reunion. Bless this food we are about receiving. Bless our soul, our spirit, our health, and all done in your way. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
Okay, a few more comments. If you haven't seen the board of the deceased classmates, I did a quick count and I came up with 93. Now, several of us were chatting earlier, and I think there were just over 600 classmates that graduated. I believe that's the right number. I don't know if anybody's got a better count. Mine is just kind of a fuzzy recollection. So that's 16%. Bob Tate, do you know?
It's either 572 or 563.
Okay, so it's more than 15%.
Yes.
I'd also like to recognize all the veterans in this room. So please, all veterans, please stand up. I want to see all the veterans. Sonny. We thank you all for your service. Okay, I would like one more moment of silence to recognize all the deceased veterans, all of today's active duty military that are protecting our freedoms in many places that I would not want to be. And also recognizing firefighters and police officers that protect us every day. So, a moment of silence, please. Okay. And John, we are ahead of schedule. Bring on the food. Thank you, everybody.
And now if we can have Jim Finnerty come up. And then we'll be pretty soon. We're close to starting dinner.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. First of all, while they're serving the dinners tonight, I just want, we recognize some people today. They're very important people that we want to recognize. But I want everyone in this room to give themselves a round of applause for making it 50 years. And one of these days, I'm going to go back and get that high school diploma. So I can come to these reunions. It is with a great deal of pleasure that we are all gathered here tonight. I mean, a half century, when you think about it, is a landmark in all of our lives. So I think that it's a very important day for all of us. It was so much fun last night at the pizza place at Villanova, where we were sharing the evening and having a good time and meeting people, some of whom we hadn't seen for a long period of time, some of whom we've been good friends with for a half century or more, as we talked about, some of whom we've gone through grade school with and high school with, known all of our lives, and frankly, we're tired of them. So if this is the evening, you want to take that opportunity to turn to that neighbor that you've seen for all of those years and say, hey, I'm done with you, babe. Please, I think this is a momentous occasion that you might want to do that. I'm going to let you alone. I just do want to stress that the silent auction is very important. The benefits do go to Ronald McDonald House. As you can see, there are wonderful items here that you should be bidding on. The wonderful items here that you should be bidding on. I've had 3 drinks. Content. Bidding on, and the money will go to Ronald McDonald House. So do that. But before we do that, one more thing, please, another round for the reunion committee for putting together this wonderful evening. With great food, music, dancing, and we'll have a good time. So we'll be back in just a little bit, but we want you to enjoy the food that's coming your way and the drinks that are here. We'll be back. We've got a few other things to talk about and recognition to do, so enjoy that, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served.